Joe. Joe the rat. Hello. We're streaming. We're live. Okay. And I'm hanging out with Joe, as always. Let's go. Also, if you saw the thing, yeah, Ivy Labs is up on Patreon and Facebook group. I made a thing that's a Facebook group because people like that apparently. But I don't know. I don't use Facebook much. I'll try to be active in it, but of course there needs to be members, so join that if you're on the Facebook. And also, just a quick note before we get the submissions rolling in. Yeah, I started some stuff in the Discord, so be sure to get active. Flock flip, right, which is kind of, if you know, eliminate kind of audio combat style stuff, right? Just like flipping samples and whatnot, fun stuff. And then workshops, I'm gonna get talented producers, like relatively well-known dudes, to just come in and share their knowledge. That'll be like probably monthly. I'll figure that out. And yeah, community sample pack, where just any cool sounds you make, just throw them in here. And yeah, I'm gonna make a sample pack free for the homies. You know the deal. Ayo, Caleb Dempsey. Okay. So, I mean, no one's actually submitted anything yet. For whatever reason, people hate Feedback Friday. So the stream's off. There's no stream. There's nothing. There's just the rat. Here's the rat. It's the rat. Send in the whips. Whips are feedback worthy, in my humble opinion. Okay, the rat is in his little travel cage. He's hanging out. Yeah, send it in. Okay. Sorry for ping, but I don't know. Okay, you don't need to ping me. I'm right here, but all right. Can you close that? Okay, so up first. Up first, the boy Maui Hayes. All right. Okay, okay. 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 We're back. Up first, Maui Hayes. Got the rat next to me. Got the vibes ready. Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Cool. Okay. Let's make sure my voice is around the approximate correct volume. Great vibe to start us off. I like that little intro section. I feel like maybe your lead could span 2 octaves just to sound a bit fuller. And I'm not sure if I'm a huge fan of the drums. They just sound very cymaticsy, you know? Already rolling in this time. Building up nicely.
Fuck you and who you came with.
Solid. I think the vocal could be a bit louder and more processed. Arrangement's great. Sound design going foolish. variations on all this stuff. And sound design solid. Maybe a bit of widening on your basses. It all sounded good. The sub bass might be a bit too loud. Yeah, this fucks.
Everybody know that I kill it.
And I like how you transition out with a bit of tension in that riser. You helped me when I was stuck making video game OST. Thanks a billion. Thank you for your support. I'm glad I could provide the inspo. You really got the reggae dubby vibe down, I'll give you that. And I think the lead could maybe have some kind of pitch bends and legato glide in it, so it sounds more vocal and alive, not so static. Maybe a bit of vibrato-ness as well. That's where I got it from. And maybe have some different samples for the different drum samples for the kind of break and whatnot for the drops. And one thing I like about this is a lot of songs we just hear a lot of filler for the intro and break, right? Just little atmospheres and effects. But the break has a whole vibe in the intro. That explains it, because these basses are cymatic samples as well. You can hear a bit of that. You arrange them very tastefully though, which is pretty uncommon, especially for people throwing around cymatic samples. Macro Dose, looking forward to hearing you next week. You can't rush perfection. Yeah, that fucked. I maybe would have liked a bit longer outro, just run that vibe back one more time. You know, yeah, because it's a bit of a sudden transition out. I don't know, the only thing that really stands out to me as needing work is, like I said, some of those drums. Like, the sound design's fine, it's not my favorite, you know, it's like a bit bro-steppy, but it still fucks, I think. And they sound pretty evenly mixed. I don't know. The sub, like I said, maybe a bit too loud. The drum samples here. This lead definitely, though, sticks out as kind of unpolished. Pitch bending and vibrato. Just reverb it, you know. Just something to make it sound a bit more organic and kind of flush the rest of the stuff. And I feel like maybe you can have a bit more interesting percussion than just the hats, you know. And of course that outro, but yeah, that's solid. If you fuck with the vibe, support Maui Hayes. Give him a follow because the homies support the homies. Okay, accidentally searched up OBS with, yeah, with that. Sorry for paying, but I don't know what to send. Yes, we've established this. Hi, I'm Schlop. All right, let's see. Wait, all right. Alright, let's, I don't know who this guy is, but he's banned. Yeah, I'm gonna have to report that. And report this. Don't bring that kind of vibe into my Discord. I really, really appreciate that. You're banned, by the way. Alright, hi, I'm Schlop. I thought I've already seen you submit something, but apparently not, because I'm not following you. 86 views for a private track. I'll take that. No, I smell very good. Like to experiment. Yeah. You can definitely manipulate like some more bro-steppy kind of samples into weird space-basy stuff if you really want to venture out. one thing. Like your melody is very in the background. Doesn't sound like you have much elements like up front in the mix. You know, just kind of like one blur, which could be a vibe, but I would at least like something sitting on top of this atmospheric bed. No, I play stuff off Discord if you submit it. Yeah. And the other thing is, I say this quite a few times. Well, not I say it sometimes, but I feel like just the kind of have the melody and like going, then just bring in drums. It's kind of just sounds corny and amateurish. Like, of course it's a progression, but I think there's definitely cooler ways to go through a progression. Especially you could just have a little break before you bring the drums in, or have more elements. I see you have a bit of a switch up when the drums come in, the melody and stuff, but yeah, I play anything that's playable. Doesn't matter if it's on SoundCloud or Discord or what. Little bit of transition out. I feel like this transition could have been a bit more clear. You could either have like a bigger impact, right, or you can mess with the drums more, because you kind of still keep the drum beat going, then it just kind of falls away, which doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Hello.
And I feel like you could have built up much more tension for this drop here. A bit of subtlety is appreciated, but I just feel like this is missing. You can have a bit more riser, a bit more teaser, a bit more drums going.
Hello.
Sometimes melody with drums sounds fine, but I don't know. It depends how you arrange it in. You know, if you just arrange it like straight into it. Gotta run this sound design fucks. A lot of the stuff in this mix, it sounds very dim to me, you know, like not a whole lot of high end. And also it just sounds like it has a lot of reverb, maybe too much, and too dark reverb, in terms of like the reverb isn't going on the high end either, which by default it doesn't. Keep that in mind. Look, here's a little thing after I eat this. Look, reverb in Ableton, right? Reverb in Ableton. Not a lot of people know this, but you should, because it's honestly pretty important if you want your reverb to not sound like shit. Right? This is basically like an EQ for your reverb. So if you have it much darker, much brighter, and you could change what's affected. It's basically like an EQ for your reverb. But keep that in mind, because if you have everything down here, which a lot of times it sounds fine, in fact it sounds good, then stuff can just get really muddy. Meanwhile, the high end up here, yeah. I feel like your drums and bass could have more interaction in the arrangement. Like, I feel like in some ways they're kind of fighting. You know, not in a good way. They're like clashing. You see what I mean? I can't say exactly what it is. A lot of times in my arrangements, I have the drums and bass straight up like call each other in. You know, like the kick hits, I have a bass come in. The snare hits, I have a bass come in. You know, well, it's fine if you don't do that. You know, in fact, that's just what I like to do. But I feel like in some ways the rhythms are clashing. Like, especially when you kind of have like a quicker drum break type thing. It's nothing huge, but Another thing, I think your sound design on like the downbeat, like the call, the I think that has to either the sound design itself or how you mix it, you know, like OTT saturation with, right? It has to be stronger, you know, because I mean, it's all of it's subjective, right? But I think you really want that downbeat to hit harder than the response, right? Because like if I were to go in, I'm not about to make a whole arrangement, but you get what I mean. You know, if you have like a wow 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 versus like a wow wow wow, one just makes more sense than the other. We're used to having that strength on the downbeat. You see what I mean? A lot of weird ideas. Feedback on this one. I wonder how long you've been producing, because this is pretty nice. It's your first track. Even if it's not, I dig it. It vibes. Another thing, harder kick, more sidechain. Clap type thing could be a bit louder. Not sure if I'm a fan of this hat either. Just sound sample. It's alright. Also, like Wilson said, like the stream so it gets boosted in the algorithm and we have more homies submit their bangers, because that's what it's all about. Hello. Also, I mean, it gets the job done, but I think there could just be more going on for the break here. You know, like something to create interest beside the atmosphere and the hats. Just something. It could be anything. Typically like a lead or cool sound effects. Hello. Same with the tension here. I think you can have like another riser layer besides the kind of white noisiness. And just more drums, like high-end drums besides the kick building. Hello.
Hello.
Slop. Slop. Like in terms of the mix down, I think like the stuff sits right, you know. I just think it could be a bit more polished in the front, because you can hear everything. It just needs that little polish. Slap. Yeah, and the outro gets the job done and fades out nicely. Yeah, solid track, self-release original, little introduction. Yeah, I had a few things to say on there. I always feel the need to summarize when I'm done talking, but who's gonna remember all that? You can go back in the stream if you really wanna get it down. Bro, stop adding me or your band. Okay, but Ableton rolling DMB V3. Oh wait, gotta give Schlop the shout out. Can't forget. If you fuck with the vibe, if you frick with the vibe, that's your boy Schlop. Give him a follow, and let's just roll. Let's just roll. Cool little sound effects. This cymbal crash is a bit corny, a bit outdated type sound. That's what you're going for. crash itself is fine, just the sample you use for it. And I feel like it comes in at weird intervals. It's like it's not hitting like every bar or every 2 bars, you know, like it's like every 3 or some like uneven type thing. Another thing is I felt like this was kind of your like build-up section, but you didn't have much of a riser or anything to indicate like, all right, the drop's about to happen, to prepare people. I like how you like filtered it and kind of teased it in the beginning though. Like, at least just a riser would make that much more clear. What is up, Biblical Death? The gang's all here. Also, too much auto pan. New rule, don't ever use auto pan. No, because I hear so many people overuse it, you know, especially when they're new because it sounds cool. But a lot of the time, it just takes away the impact from your sounds. Like, if you were to use auto pan, I would use it on very high, unimportant, like, sound effects up in the top kind of background, you know? But even then, I very rarely use it, if ever. Or, like, ambio type stuff. And especially don't do it on a sub. You need your sub to be mono or else it won't hit right on every system. See, look, now that's like a real kind of riser. See, even though like that wasn't necessarily a drop, I would still have a bit of tension, you know, transition between lighter and heavier energy. And another thing is, so for this, since it ended up being some kind of intro with like the real drop being later, I would maybe have more elements besides the bass. Because when the bass is the whole focus, it's essentially a drop, like in people's heads. You know, you could just have more stuff besides the kind of spacey, washed out vocal panning. Also, I feel like you're bringing things in at weird times, you know? You gotta like keep it even with the bars. Cause like I'm not hearing like a kick on the downbeat right when your drop comes in, which is just makes it feel weird, and you're like people dance to it like where's the beat? They're dancing to it. And the other thing is you're not really having a snare hit or some strong hit on 2, like book, which is important for drum and bass. It's cool to have like percussion, right? But you definitely need some strong hit on the 2 and 4, right? In your drum loop. Because like think about it, if someone's dancing this, they'd be kind of like confused as to where the 1 is. Because I'm confused as to where the 1 is, you know? And even though you don't want to get stuck in a loop, you know, it's important to work in loops because loops are what make like dance music work. It's inherently repetitive, you know, much as we try to break out of repetition. Yeah, you definitely need kick hits on the 1, snare hits on the 2, and then the whole thing would just groove a lot better. See, like, I think the beat here was better, you know, but even then, you kind of like, I understand that you could do whatever you want with drums, right? But I feel like you need a stronger hit on the 2 and 4, right? So maybe that could be more of a percussion element and you have a stronger snare. And of course, just like sample selection and make your kicks hella loud and sidechain. Yeah, too much panning for sure. But yeah, I think like the main thing is like your structure's alright. I think you could be a bit more deliberate with like what's going on with it. But beyond that, it's really you got to get that 1 and the 1, 2, and 4 like on lock. Kick on 1, 2, and 4. You know, because it's dance music. That's how people know when to dance. or else they're gonna be dancing all wrong. You gotta make them look good, right? They're the audience. If they don't look good, they're not even gonna pull up. They're not gonna be on Instagram showing off their flow arts, their little rave outfits. You're not gonna headline at that rate. You know what I mean? Rap break. Also, yeah, song was a bit quiet. I think you could just get everything louder. Of course, it's not mastered or anything. Thank you for the heads up, though. But this should be louder because it's on SoundCloud, and yeah. Hard to find accessible bass music tutorial. That is my goal. I make the most accessible. I make both the most advanced and most accessible tutorials known to man. I may be the best ever. I'm one of the coolest guys. I have a rat too. I have a little rat who wants to say hello. Joe, say hello. There's the rat. Thank you, Joe, for visiting. You're very nice. Okay. Joe break is done. He'll come back later. But up next is Silly. You swerve to avoid a rat in the road. That means the next time you see a rat, he will do you a favor. That's karma. Wait, let me. Comes in a bit high caliber already. I would maybe save a bit of that energy, but this is fine. I dig how you like adapt to the flow. I think you need more attention because it kind of came in out of left field. You need more attention. And also a little break before the drop, a little pre-drop type thing, to really have that moment of tension before laying it on them. That'll make it hit so much harder because this drop is kind of ridiculous. Just needs that tension. I love how you have the reverb in the background. This is a wedding song. You really need some type of pre-drop because like I feel like there's so much energy that is so much potential that is not actualized from having a bit more tension in a pre-drop. Just like the smallest break before the drop would make it hit 10 times harder. I think the kick could have a bit more sub on it.
Girl, wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. I see you moving your head, go ahead, babble it. Girl, wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. I see you moving your head, go ahead, babble it. Girl, wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. I see you moving your head, go ahead, babble it. Girl, wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. I see you moving your head.
Let's run it back. Also, this part's kind of empty. You'd at least have some type of impact, I'm feeling.
Girl, wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. I see you moving your head, go ahead, babble it. Girl, wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. I see you moving your head, go ahead, babble it.
Inappropriate
Girl,
breakfast.
wobble it, and I'ma gobble it. I see you moving your head, go ahead, babble it.
Also, I think you could take advantage of low passes to kind of tease bases to add to that tension and the sauce. This is a vibe though. Yeah. Felt like stuff kind of cut out abruptly, like the vocal wise. You can at least have some type of riser and some type of like washout, like a reverb on the vocal to transition it. Also, these basses here could be a bit more upfront. See, it's just not super clear. Like, was that supposed to be like a drop type beat, a break type beat? I'm getting like a break vibe, but just be very deliberate with what you're doing. Yeah. I mean, pretty much same stuff applies for this part. It's all about just that tension in the arrangement, I think. Because your sound design's solid. I think your basics could be a bit more upfront too. Like, wider would be good for that. And just volume-wise, your sub's probably too loud. And bring up your basses. Outro gets the job done. Not sure if you need a whole, like, almost 30 seconds of echo out on the end. You can half that, quarter it, you know. But, yeah. Yeah, that fucks. I think that tension is the main thing. That tension would just take it to the next level. But the creativity is off the charts. In fact, I have a song. Or like an ID. Okay. Well, fuck, I dropped a little piece of rat food for Joe. It's okay, we have more. But I have an ID kind of similar where like the rap becomes like the flow of the bass. Just kind of insane. So we great minds think alike, or whatever they be saying. All right, we got Sailor, a return from the previous week. Threat.m4a. Is this another future bassy banger? Oh no. Future bass gone bad.
One day, perhaps when you're dead.
Damn. Well, shit slaps.
Leave a pussy wet, then I leave a pussy wet. I'm a motherfucking wet.
He had to do it to him. Damn. That one. Fucking stupid. I have anything in the chat. Hey guys, my first try. Please be nice. Even the little beat you have in here is so stupid. You got huge potential, my G. Not even potential. This is it. You peaked. If you go above this, I'd be flabbergasted. Yeah. And like the intro is fine.
One day, perhaps when you're dead.
Subtle. Brings it right into that dank, stanky beat.
Then I leave a pussy wet. Then I leave a pussy wet.
Yeah. I feel like just a tinge more kind of like saturation on these basses. And they already sound fat as fuck, but I think they could just use a bit of that crisp. Yeah. Yeah, this is incredible, especially contrasting last week's submission. Yeah, I mean, speaks for itself. Not a whole lot I can say. Maybe you can have hats, maybe, if you want. It sounds fine without them, but they could keep a bit of the groove going. Yeah, follow him if you want that banger. What if you combine the banger and the emotion to create God? I'm petting a little rat. But yeah, follow Sailor. He knows what he's doing. Feist. Dude, I dig this cover. Not much to say, I dig it. Yeah, the cover is good. I already know it's good. No feedback to give. Alright, headcanon. No, I'm playing. I'm a funny guy. I'm a silly, funny guy. I got a little rat. I dig this. If it's a sample or something, it sounds very good. The bass coming in kind of spooky like. Not sure if it's quite in the same key as the piano sample, but it sounded just about fine. Damn. I think that sub needs to be louder. The one time I'm saying for a louder sub. Also, these sound effects are freaking insane. Like super harmonic. I really love this. Bringing in the violin sample. Joe's eating a little snack in my lap. No, louder sub. Drums are fat. Well, cause like, look, typically the sub is gonna be the loudest thing in your mix, but based on this waveform, it doesn't seem like it, you know? Yeah. The sound design is off the charts. Just that sub. And I'm satisfied with the variations. It slaps hard enough. But I'm chill with it. Yeah, this is crazy. Sub sounds slightly louder here. Still not loud enough. And I generally think whatever sound design you have can overall be louder too. Not like the effects, like the bass sound design. Corpus. He's going foolish with the corpus. Yeah. Kick is a lot louder than the sub. Straight up, I would go in, right? Okay, just had to pull out the little solo. But look, straight up, go in, right? Let's just make this sub. Sub frequencies, right? Okay, then let's get a kick, right? Kick. Doesn't matter what kick it is. Whatever it is, sure, that's good enough. I would go in, I would get a spectrum on the master, right? You can use like span, which is more precise, but spectrum will get the job done, right? Look. See where that sub is hitting, like around there. Check where this sub is hitting. Not around there. So like, yeah, you can like make it basically just match your kick and sub level. This rat keeps jumping up on the table like a villain. No, you gotta stay here. Stay out of the way. You see? Now they're like closer together. That's pretty much where you want your stuff hitting. Yeah. But yeah, that slapped. If the sub was louder and that sound design on the sub went crazier, yeah, you'd be headlining. Sent a melodic track last week. First ever hard song. Oh, that was you. Yeah, nothing to really change. I mean, I think everything was solid. One thing, I think maybe your fills could be harder or more interesting off the top of my head. But yeah, sounded fine to me. Maybe a bit more tension in your stuff. I don't know why I'm like rephrasing my feedback, but you know what I mean. Show us Joe. Oh, you couldn't hear Ableton. It doesn't matter because it's mostly a visual exercise. You know, this sub, match that with your bass, get the frequencies hitting the same. Okay, here's Joe. Wait. Here's Joe. Little Joe. Little Joe, little Joe. He's all hyper. He doesn't want to stay still. That's him. Guys, that's Joe, if you didn't know. Joe Ratley, Joe for short. He likes a little tummy tickle sometimes. He's a cute little guy. He likes to hang out. Joe Break. But yeah, he's really chill. He can sit on my shoulder. He can hang out. He knows the vibes. Anyways, next track. Let's go. A lot of 140 artists don't sidechain their sub. Yeah, that is fair. Yeah, and I notice when I'm making 140, a lot of times I'm like chilling there. It's a good point. 'Cause I should mention that. Honestly, like sidechain, in a way, it can be overused. You know, because people are ready to put it on everything, but you don't need it on everything, and sometimes it sounds better without it. Thank you for the tip for Charles' tutorial. I appreciate every dollar donated, and I will spend it on little rat treats. Okay, let's go. Oh, you're right. Digging the Zelda samples. Okay, I could have sworn I just copied. Okay. Bro. Just laggy piece of shit. This is one crazy ass take. Out of left field. See, like I'm not sure if I was prepared for the vibe switch up because this sounded like a weird, kind of funky, darker tape with with the drums, kind of like sub, but that's just like. Also, if you're gonna be doing drum fills like that, I would either use like different samples to like give it a more acoustic feel, or like change the velocity. That was just like maybe a bit more preparation for that as well. Not sure if this is you on guitar or you sampled this, but it fucks. The saw chords are kind of coming off as corny to me. I feel like maybe some like filtering, especially low pass filtering, can make them sound a bit less like early 2000s trance chords. Also, the kick sounds kind of long and subby. A little too much sub and like tail on that kick, in my opinion. Subjective, but the maniacal laughing as I torture Joe. Yeah, I think the drums could be more interesting. Also, I feel like the drums are kind of impeding on the clarity of like the rest of the stuff. And also, I feel like there's not like a ton of like musical content in this part. And I feel like all the sound effects are kind of like too loud and kind of getting away with that as well. This sucks. Could use more preparation though. A bit more like tension with the arrangement risers, stuff like that. And a little break. I always recommend a little pre-drop break because in my opinion it always makes something hit harder. Always. Again with the saw chords, I think some filtering or some slight different sound design on it can make it sound a bit less corny. I think if you can use a big impact there, you know, to kind of just transition it out a bit smoother. Yeah, you could tease the pluck as well. I really like how you flipped that Song of Storms though. Kind of went crazy. I'll be the first to admit it. But I do feel like a lot of the sound effects are kind of getting in the way of like the musical ideas. And a lot of times for like your intro and break sections, the musical idea wasn't super clear. You know, and it might be cool if you like add a little like B section to the Song of Storms, even though it's like a permanent loop basically, right? Just you know, the same thing. Maybe you can like add a little development to it, but that might interfere with the integrity of what you're going for. But that could be cool. That could be cool, right? If you want these Song of Storms vibes, follow Headcanon. Follow him now. And if you did that guitar, big ups. Jeez. That could be crazy too, what Ariel sang. Wow. That bass right from the start. Need that sub. Need that sub. Could maybe use a hint of tension, little tiniest pre-drop to get things rolling. Hit the break part. Also, hats for the groove. I think the drums could have a bit more of a groove as well. And maybe the snare, I feel like a bit of drum bus, like transient shaping to make it kind of hit tighter could be beneficial. Need some of that sub. And I feel like right there, that could have been like a long pre-drop fill to bring it something into like halftime. That, you know what I mean? Yeah, like wobble sub. A wobble sub would slap. I agree.
Security impenetrable. Even if they did manage to evade the guards, they don't
A
get
bit
past
more
the
riser action here. This part shows minimalism at its finest. Yeah, let the brakes roll without the normal kick. That too. Actually, I don't know. Maybe you can have a kick just like on the 1 or whatever. And the second drop. I hear a lot of times you're layering a bunch of different elements when really you only need one, and most songs only have one element going on at the same time. You know, and if there are different elements going on, they're like intermingling with each other like call and response, you know, they're still doing it one at a time for the most part. I hear that in a lot of your songs, so it might be worth intentionally limiting yourself to using one element at a time. You know, because like this slapped. This slapped just as hard, if not harder, than like the rest of your drops you have going. And there's less going on. You know? Sound design, of course, is absolutely bonkers. Goes without saying from the boy Shamer.
The guards, they don't get past the hydro cannons.
Yeah, I dig it. Creative arrangement too. You're always hella creative arrangements, and I respect that highly. Right? But yeah, if you want to join Lil Dilly on the search for Atlantis, give him a follow. Just be very deliberate with your elements and what each element does, you know, because a lot of times layering can be detrimental rather than beneficial. But DM3, feedback whip, because he has no shame. I like this melody and vibe. Nice arrangement. Little reversal. Ooh. That little reversal for a bit of tension before you lay the sub down on these goons. Mix is solid. Joe likes it. Joe approves it. Yeah. And then it transitions pretty nicely into the next section. See, no impact, but he transitioned out nicely. Just with some subtle effects and arrangement. Do break with the build. No filler, because that intro was flame. Huge riser. Great drum tension. This bass sounds kind of ridiculously bright compared to the rest of your sounds. Also, that fill. Crazy. Yeah. I feel like you kind of need to get this brightness in line with the rest of your sounds. Either diminishing this sound's brightness or increasing the brightness of your other sounds. Or maybe like some kind of teaser to prepare the listener for that brightness. Also, snare's alright. Maybe a better snare. I don't know, it gets the job done. And transitions out nicely. See, this is a great example of how to... Ooh. With that auto pan coming in. Of how to like transition your sections without just blatant like impact sounds, you know? He does it very subtly. Very nicely. Yeah. The transition to that build-up could be a bit cleaner. Or like this teaser type thing. A lot of crazy automations for this stuff. Free drop. Crazy. I feel like this like stuff on top could be a bit more full spectrum and mid-heavy. It feels like it's just kind of sitting on top of the sub. Could be a bit fuller in my opinion. The rest of it though, absolutely fucked. Changing up the sub note for the melodic stuff. One thing I feel like they should be a bit more like kind of bass teasing type stuff and some more like consistency with the vibes, you know? Because it almost feels like, I don't know, it's just so out of left field, which is good in its own way, but I would like it kind of to like deepen the vibe of the rest of the track rather than just like go stupid out of nowhere, you know? And just like teasing it, and I don't know. Like I thought the first drop did it a bit better. You know, but this just kind of came out of left field. But that's just me. I'm very picky. And to some people, the total unexpected left field shit is what they live for. But yeah, the crowd loves it. Absolutely criminal. Unethical. I like that one. But yeah, DM Tree. Just because he goes in every time. Here's a link to DM Tree. And because I know his SoundCloud off the top of my head. So yeah, give him a follow. If you dig the vibes. I think he has one track released. The Rat's Trying to Escape. You cannot escape. You cannot. We're hanging out. But anyway, Kitsune. Let's go. I'm not saying to get rid of the second drop, I'm just saying maybe rework her to have a bit more teasing going on. I dig these spooky vibes with the percussion and vocal. I feel like at this point something more can be happening. But honestly, I'm satisfied because the vibe is dense. the vibe remains dense. The vibe deepens. Excellent orchestral arrangement. I'm curious how he's gonna turn this one around. It does take a bit to get going, but the way you've arranged it is super solid. See, at this point, I don't even know if there's going to be a drop, which I'm fine with. It's just not something we're used to. It's an outro, not an EDM track. Yeah, this is solid. Did the progression of it. The mix down is solid. You have a great progression in it. You introduce new elements without it sounding out of place. Stays interesting. And you have a solid lead with the pluck. And you have progressed really nicely. You know, you're not just looping the same kind of progression over in the same melodies. You know, it changes, but it doesn't sound out of place. Alright, so somebody's gonna flip this into an insane world bass banger. The VIP. Yeah, this sounds super professional. That's super cool. An outro for a story-based EP. I'm curious as to what the other tracks sound like in it as well. One thing is that the strings kind of following the melody. I think it can be much more interesting if it wasn't, you know, or you have one layer following the melody, but you have another layer creating its own kind of harmony with it, you know, or own like counter melody. Yeah. And see what I mean. Yeah, I mean, this is solid. It builds up very nicely, and then you have this kind of like B section transition that's different. Yeah. I think that main thing that really stands out to me is the strings, but besides that, you know, like, I can hear everything. It's clear. The mix has clarity. As always, watch those mids and lows, even in a non-EDM track. You know, watch those mids and lows because you can improve the clarity of mix. Another thing is, you know, mid-side EQ can also make things have a bit more clarity. Not that. This, click this little mid-side, go to the side. You know, a lot of times I like to scoop the mids, boost the highs a bit. You know, just because, yeah, that gives it a sense of clarity. You know, especially on the side channels where you really don't want a whole lot of mids at all. You know, like the stereo. Yeah, that's a vibe though. Alright, so drop the download so the homies can flip it. Alright, we got Suki up in here. But yeah, if you fuck with Kit's tunes, give him a follow for this EP. Well, I don't want to exit the stream, don't know why. Collab on a VIP. Hop in the collab channel. Alright, Up next, kids tunes. All right. Not kids tunes. Suki. Give me a follow. Free download. I dig this. Beautiful arrangement. It's no problem. You cannot rush perfection, Ariel. See, I like that progression there, but I feel like just kind of threw it away, threw it by the wayside for the banger build up. When you could have definitely like played that out, had it develop into a build up without the kind of low pass filtering, and like change it to harmony instead. Also, I dig the high pass, but I feel like it was a bit dramatic. A little too much, too quickly. You know, like, especially like when those drums just kick in, which can add a lot of tension. It's kind of just like too much high pass. Okay. Weird. Drums are popping. Solid flat. I like this weird layered bass too. The basses really fill up the mix. No problem. You cannot rush perfection, Macrodose. Nobody can rush perfection. And I like how you keep this energy for the build up and for the break.
Here we go.
Same thing with the high pass there.
Not too bad.
Solid vocals.
Fucking hell.
That was solid. And it's great variation on it. Yeah, your basses really fill up the mix and are fat. Plenty of OTT and saturation on them, that's for sure. And stereo widening. I would like to hear a bit more of that beautiful melodicness in the beginning though. And easier on the filters. In my humble opinion. But it transitions out nicely. Also, I think I maybe would have liked to hear a bit more, you know, like continuity between the melodicness and the heaviness in some way. It's always hard to do, but I don't know. I don't know, man. Also, I think you should have some variation in the velocity of your stuff. Also, that turnaround, that chord progression turnaround was kind of weird. You know, especially in the rhythm, I would like wait a bit longer to play that turnaround chord. You know, because you want to like, I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. Also, I guess like the deceptive cadence thing kind of works with the dominant to the whatever. But I don't know. That turnaround at the end was weird in my opinion. And definitely mess with the velocities of the piano. I know you want like the mellow piano sound, so you have it on low velocity probably. But I think like especially like the higher notes, you know, should have a bit more velocity on them and variation. Because it kind of shows that it's all around same velocity, you know, same timbre. But yeah, I really appreciate the melodicness. Not enough folks out here wanting to venture in melodic territory, especially within dubstep. So yeah, it gets the Joe approval. All of you get the Joe approval. All right, Joe loves all of you. Give Suki a follow if you dig the vibe. And look at Joe. Just look at him for a minute. Okay. Alright, we got Catalinks. Alright, stop. I'm gonna stop you right there. That's not... He is not submitted to the feedback stream. Alright, SoundCloud should know these things. They should accommodate to me and my feedback stream, because all my boys are in here. Alright, Catalinks, probably with another down-tempo banger. Dig how you mess with the samples. This bass line in the beginning, kind of ramping up, is kind of cool. Luke Higher. Oh, that sound design. Ping pong type beat. Yeah, this is insane. The way it progresses is excellent. Like really, you gotta start releasing and promoting your shit, because you're on a level. Yeah, it builds up very nicely. That's all. The sound design is nuts. That percussive groove with all the whoops, crazy tappy samples. You always keep it interesting, new stuff always adding in. Putting a lovely lead in. I feel like you could have brought that kind of lead thing in with a bit of reverse reverb maybe. Just start posting on social media. It's the simplest way to do it, I guess. Really love that plucky bass with all the pitch bendings. I feel like around this part, the arrangement isn't as clear. I'm not sure the direction this track is going. Is this like some type of break or some type of whatever? Like go to local shows, meet all the DJs, get booked to play. Yeah, I was thinking about starting a flock label. Well, I am. Yes, not right now. Just gotta get everything here. Flock label soon. This part too, I'm not feeling as much direction. Alright, Macrodose, if you're trying to help run the label, hit me up. No, honestly, in real. Yeah, I just feel like the musical ideas in the second half aren't as clear. I mean, like, what am I supposed to be kind of focusing on? Is it the groove? Is it the atmosphere? Is it just supposed to be a generally tense section? Yeah, like DM me on Discord, I'll talk to you. Yeah, I would like to get something like that rolling. Bunting and friends win. Haha. Also, Ariel, DM me. I'll talk to you. Because genuinely something I would like to get rolling. Yeah. Banging track. I'm not sure what it was. Maybe it's just me. For one, like, just this gradual buildup of this felt like it made it very clear. And even though a bunch of stuff is going on, because it gradually builds up, it's easy to pick out everything. I feel that less in this section. Give me all the DMs on Discord. And we'll figure something out. Free jazz mess. Okay, I can feel that. See, now that you say that, you just need a vocal sample that says free jazz. And then it'll all make sense. DM me on Discord, DM me on Discord. DM me on Discord. That's all you gotta do. Still for the free jazz, I would at least want like one kind of like strong lead to really take me through. You know, give me something to focus on and really like tell the story. You gotta tell the story. You know, or else people are like me are gonna be very confused. No, not like us. We don't get confused by anything. We're very smart and handsome, all of us. All right, yeah, that's Catalinks. Give him a follow for the insane down-tempo-y tunes. Getting distracted by Joe, but Sakura, tear out with melodic stuff. ID. Let's go. All right, let's run that back real quick. Too much white noise, not enough sound design up front. More OTT always. Yeah, I'm just like, a lot of your bass sounds are kind of getting like overpowered by just like the noisiness of it. But really up front, OTT, saturation, absolute sauces. Also phasers, trying to improve the fatness of it. Drum slap. Yeah. Like, I could hear the rhythm and flows you're going on, but I would like to have that more up front. You know me. Your bird likes it. The bird's headbanging. Yo, meta. Yeah. It's lit. But yeah, that's Sakura. I mean, like, beyond that, of course, the tension you introduced here is fine. And good, like, little pre-drop. He was dancing. Joe, why don't you dance? Why can't you be like that bird? I hate him. Hate that Joe. But yeah, not a whole lot of feedback. The drums sound fine. The sound design sounds fine. I just need it more up front with less of that just like kind of noisy wall of sound. Yeah. Yeah, that's that. Okay, you guys did DM me. Awesome. I will get back to you after the stream. Follow him for the tear up banger. Joe dances. Not unless I tell him to. Zero initiative. Him and Joe can be friends. All right. Rat bird playdate win. A vocal during the pre-drop. Pre-job. Autocorrect. I don't know. But a good slap, but I feel like the bass teaser is enough as is. Game Boy, Arcadian sound. Let's freaking go. The classic blowing in the cartridge type beat. Ooh. Some interesting kind of chord type beats. Cool. Joe isn't sleeping, he's having a little snack and he's cleaning himself up. Joe and the bird would never make babies. God forbids it. Also, I really like how you brought in the percussion for that little bit of tension, then you dropped it on him. Creative with the arrangement too. Those little bits of silence are tasteful. I would at least like more drums on the downbeat, because that's where we want to hear them. Rat plus bird equals bat. I thought pigeons were like sky rats. This is a weird, like, twisted, dark nostalgia type beat. I think what would be really cool if you somehow are able to make more of these sounds like 8-bitty. Something for that. Redux. Redux just like makes stuff sound 8-bit. Like listen. Listen, Redux. Okay, let me actually let you hear FL Studio. The superior DAW. Okay. 8-bit. See, you can make a whole drop out of just Redux automation. But yeah, if you want to make stuff sound super 8-bit and nostalgia, do that. You can also use isotope vinyl. Seagulls. That's right. Hi, bro. Hi, Jazz, the master beat. Hella dudes to get through, but I'm not complaining because every one of you, except bangers only. I would maybe like to hear more of that second drop instead of fading it out, but you do you, bro. I dug that. And I thought it was kind of well executed. The snare could be a bit more upfront and punchy, maybe less reverbiness, more kicks on the ones. Another thing that could be cool is kind of like tape stops, you know? I feel like on that. Like right there. Could go hard. Also, you could maybe like take out all the elements for like a cool little fill or whatever to just keep things interesting. And just have like more rhythmic elements. Because like it slaps, but I feel like there's not a whole lot of groove, especially with the way you arrange the drums. You can also add hats to add to that groove. Also, maybe like auto pan on some elements, give that you know, just give it more rhythmic elements. Yeah, kind of like how you have that gate there. More stuff like that. And I think on your bass as well, you can have more automations to like, you can maybe like distort it at certain parts, like kind of like in Of the Trees, like Spanish Moss. He like cranks up the distortion on that bass during times to give it some movement. Also filter movement stuff. Auto pan, not in terms of like stereo. That's not allowed. Strictly forbidden. Auto pan for mono only. which I cover a lot on my channel because I use it a lot. Look, how to make auto pan, mono, amount, phase. Now it's mono. You can set the time. You can invert it. Now it's. Or you can. Go crazy. Have fun. Yeah, you get the idea. Add a bit of modulation to the bass. You know, like your bass is like this now. Okay, can I hear him? Your bass is like this. Your bass is like this now. For example, right? Maybe you can go in and be like, hey. I don't know why Ableton isn't automatically selecting it. You know, just cool little automations to add some more movement. Could fuck, right? And Redux to make it all, yeah, like an LFO. But yeah, Arcadian Sound. Follow him for the Game Boy banger. Follow him to support a homie because homies support homies. All right, we got Pop the Trunk. I feel like I haven't seen your name in here submitting in a minute, but I'm excited either way because I missed you. Or I don't even know if I missed you because, yeah, who knows last time you submitted. It could have been yesterday for all I know. But yeah, let's go. Drive by. Cool pick. This guy's aiming precisely. Solid melodic vibes. I like the kind of subdued drums in the beginning as well. Little airy downlifter. Rising up. I've used FL Studio. I used to use FL Studio for like a year at least, but I converted over to Ableton because I liked it better. Also, thank you for the kind words. I do have good content. No, I'm humble, I swear. It's all jokes. But I appreciate your support, every one of you. What's up, Second Nature? Getting distracted from this beat. I like the way it progressed into this kind of break, and I love this reverbed out bass with that little sub, like growling. Absolutely disrespectful, unethical. Joe's taking a little rest. He's laying there. Oh, building up with the vocal. Oh. Okay, this slaps, but hold up. I feel like you could have had a bit more attention a bit sooner. Give it a bit more time to prepare the listener and to build the energy, build the sauce. Also, Jacob Robbins, if you're trying to send a link, it's not going to work. I'm not sure why your message was retracted. Yeah. No, FL Studio has racks. They have Patcher, which in some ways has more capabilities than Ableton's racks. Yeah, sound design goes crazy. Super full. Gives me kind of Cursive vibes with how like full it is and blown out. I don't think I'd say this, but I feel like it's almost too stereo on the bass. Need a bit more mono signal. Solid variations on it too. Cool fill. Bringing in the melodics. Oh. Super vibey. Yeah, I really dig the sound design on it, how full spectrum it is. Smooth transition out of it. Solid. Joe's taking a little nap. I want to give him a little pet though, a little Joe pet. Shh, it's okay, Joe. Usually I'm gonna say like no pre-drop, 2 out of 10, but I felt like that time it was well executed. You had the little vocal. That bass came in kind of out of left field. Maybe a bit of low pass just to bring it in and shape it up. Go hard. That bass is whipping. This is true. One thing I should have said sooner, but I'm a goober. The snare definitely needs to be either a different sample or just need to be a bit more punchy. Look, here's the sauce. Here's the snare sauce. Let me put you on. Let's get a snare. Bunting snare. Well, for one, right? If you want the best snares in the game, you just need to visit buntingmusic.com. You need to visit buntingmusic.com. You need to go to shop. This is required, by the way. Yeah, you need to go to shop and you need to, yeah, look at all the packs. Also, it's nicely organized now. I didn't know this was finalized, but yeah, that's awesome. There's plenty of free packs on here. And yeah, all sorts of cool stuff. Yeah, free packs, get banger drums. But okay, here's the actual sauce. But the intro got the job done. I like the variations on the second drop. You're solid. I'm being a sellout right now. Don't interrupt me. Look, when in doubt, use a bunting snare, right? But look, here it is. Drum bus, turn the drive down, the damp up, decay down. You see? That makes it punch through way more. And basically, just to explain it to you, drive is like kind of like saturation. Damp is like a low pass. The decay, so if you turn up boom, it basically adds like a sub for some reason. Except I don't know why it's not playing. But turn that down because it adds a weird artifact. Unless you want it like a sub. But yeah, transients, you can have it last longer or shorter. A lot of times you want it shorter. You can also add like just these like preset. Yeah, that's the real sauce. But yeah, get my sample packs, the free ones especially, because they're free. Or else, honestly. But yeah, pop the trunk. You want to be there first in line when he drops this track with the shotgun sample in it, because DM3 said so. You have to listen to him. Okay, that's the rules. I don't make them. I just dish them out. Literally everyone left the stream because I was being a sellout. That's what I get. That's what I get. But give him a follow, right? Up next, Psychotrope. Started using Ableton this week. All right, I'm excited to dish out the roast. Okay, that's weird. No, because now it says they're 25. It said there were 12 viewers for a second. That's weird. Now it's back at 25, huh? That's so weird. Also, hashtag actual shit. The sound is bringing a funky vibe my way. Joe is sleeping. This is his favorite music to sleep to. The bangers. Funky percussion. I kind of dig the minimalness of it, but at the same time, you can maybe have some type of atmosphericness or something more going on. Like don't let minimalness be an excuse to not add a lot of interest. Especially at this part, around like halfway through when that sub cuts in, you can add more like impact effects to show the direction of this track. vibing to this. It's minimal, but it gets the damn job done, to say the least. This bass, that one, like clarinet type beat. I'm not sure how hard I'm feeling that one compared to the rest. Basses are super fat though. I love that like saturated full spectrum bass. Yeah, I'm not feeling both the sound design, or maybe it's a mix of both, the sound design and how you arrange that bass in there. I'm also not, the sub might actually be too quiet. Cause it felt like I didn't hear a ton of it on that one, like, I don't know why it's giving me like clarinet reed instrument vibes, but that's what I'm calling it when it was hitting within the drop. Yeah, intro gets the job done as well. Maybe have a little impact at the end just to make it super easy for these DJ fellows. Yeah, I mean, that slaps. I don't know what to say. I mean, I would say to like fill it up and add more stuff in the silence, but it gets the job done as is. You know, very minimal. Just make sure your minimalism is deliberate, you know? Or else it can come off as lazy, which this doesn't. So you get a stamp for that. Second impacts. Just add little like transition sounds. You know, like where the build would about be, like here. Like about here, just add a little riser than impact. And if you could add a bit more tension, you could just have a little riser here. And maybe some like the drums kind of switching up sooner. Like starting that kind of build up flow. You know, needs more cohesion. Yeah, in terms of cohesion, like those silences there. Like I feel like you can have some type of little bass, albeit not as heavy, just something a little pretty to really fill in and like keep the groove going. Also hi-hats would really do you well with all this silence to keep that groove consistent. Yeah, I like the yeah. Sample that. Goes hard. But anyways, Psychotrope, give him a follow. Ableton's Echo be slapping. I really like this weird, like bell-esque melody. Okay, can you get me out? Okay. Yeah, hi-hat rolls. Ooh, he's right. He has a point. I'm gonna have to need to add Freeman points. I don't know why that's an emoji, but yeah, let's go. Feedback Friday, Psychotrope. Let's freaking go. Give him a follow. Okay, Joe Ime dubs, Joim dubs. Let's see what's going on with the Future Rhythm ID. It had a fire react by Rinsho, so I don't know. My expectations are set pretty high for this, I'll tell you what. And new submitter, it appears, Joe Ime. Joim. I say Joe Ime because I see like an anime, and I'm like, alright, that's how you pronounce it. Solid intro, solid build. You need noise on that sub. That's what I think. Add that Kiss erosion preset. This is nice. feel like, well, for when the sub is too loud, I think maybe what you wanted to go for, or what I think is you have more just like saturation, you know, like literally saturator, distortion, you know, overdrive, amp if you want, and white noise. Flip this into a minor key, that could go hard. Like as a switch up in the middle. Damn, that could be kind of crazy. I want to write that down, like a song that switches between major and minor, like mid drop even. Sub too loud. Sub bass itself is not. Don't rip this tune. All right, you know what that means. Just rip it. Everyone rip it now. Also, I feel like you can have some type of layer, you know, like some rhythmic, almost like tear out style layer. Sub is certainly way too loud. Clap not loud enough. Maybe drums. Drums are alright, maybe a bit more transient on this kick. No one is safe. Not even Joim, Joe Ime. Also the logo. Big ups for the logo. I'll give you that much. I like to switch up with the flow. I felt like it maybe went on a bit too long without much more variation beyond that. You could have like added more layers, change up like the timbre a bit, process it a bit differently. You know, just mess with it. Echo is basically like a more advanced delay. I feel like there's straight up more stuff you can do in Echo than delay. Because Echo has delays features like, I'm not going to specify because I don't know, you know. Yeah, and more, okay. But yeah, if you like the future rhythm vibe, follow Joim, Joe Ime. How long is the wait? You got a few songs ahead. Quite a bit. Might as well submit. At a certain point, I'm gonna call it off for tonight, but submit your track. If you haven't submitted your track, submit it now, because I feel like I'm about to call it off. Kitsune, I will get to your track at the end if I have the energy, but I like to keep it to one fella, so everyone gets their run. Gets their like 5 minutes of fame, or whatever you want to call it. Dichotomy. Mastering by D's. D's what? Guys, I'm confused. You can submit next week. Second drop in this one? Oh, you're Kitsune. Okay. I think. Okay. Back to this. No, you're missing the joke. So you guys don't know D's? You guys don't know D's, come on. All you guys. You've lost my respect. Macrodose is the only one that wins. I gotta run this because I was too busy focusing on my hilarious joke. Hell yeah, Johnny. Hell yeah, Johnny Damien. It's time for a little rat hangout. Kind of atmospheric intro. Okay, I think. How did the rat do that? Rat paused. I mean, the intro gets the job done. I feel like the switch up in the rhythm of the chords is kind of weird. also feel like the two sections don't have much coherence in what they're doing. You know, I'd like to hear at least some carryover rather than just like chords, new section, do some kind of sort of transition. Good sounds though. I like this part. Hold the way to build up the energy. Kick is not loud enough. I like that weird like harmonic switch up. I feel like the notes you're hitting, I feel like the harmonic rhythm, like the rate you kind of change the bass notes, wasn't making a whole lot of sense for me personally. Yeah. Use Bunting kicks, best kicks in the game, literally, or your money back. But most of them are free, so I feel like the drop kind of wasn't going on. Also, the snare is not popping through a whole lot. Gotta use that transient shaper on the drum bus type trick. I only use my own drum samples. Literally. I like them that much. All of them thump, he's right. Listen to this Caleb guy, he knows what he's talking about. And I feel like it wasn't super clear in the arrangement. I feel like just some type of impact build up type sound in this part to make it clear that some kind of build. I rarely layer snares. Sometimes I want a snare with a clap. You know, but rarely if ever do I really do that. Also, not really hearing much, if any, sidechain. The sub is way louder than the kick. Just do what sounds good. You know, in terms of layering shit and whatever. Also, I think you can have more calm response action in your arrangement. You know, it's just like, you know, while if you have like, you know, something like that. My beatboxing skills really shining through for that. Yeah, if it's good snare, like that's my philosophy. Like with any layering, people always talk about like, oh man, you gotta layer your shit. You gotta put this on it, put this on it. Like no, if it's a good sound, it'll sound good on its own. Unless like another layer distinctly adds something. You know, like layering just to improve a sound is kind of counterproductive. Like just make a better sound. Unless it's like changing the sound in some way. Yeah, if you want like a bit of weirdness on the snare, like for sure add a little metallic boink. Yeah, like have a different sound or some type of variation on the bass to really create a conversation between two different sounds. Also, I think your bass and drums could interact more. You know, I see a lot of opportunities for your like kick and your bass to come in on the same beat, you know, but they don't. And I just think it would hit harder if they did. Bringing in the side trance. Also, like loudness wise, I feel like the dynamics are generally the same throughout the whole track, right? And you could see it here, right? Maybe D's isn't the guy you want to get mastered from. No. All right, who knows? But you see, like, there's not much dynamics. You know, this part isn't much quieter. This part isn't much louder. You know, if anything, this part looks louder from the spectrum. You know, but you want your drop to be the loudest part. And a bit more attention for your drops as well. You know, drums, risers, little pre-drops. All that stuff is very fair play. Should have got it mixed. Yeah, I dig the creativity in the arrangement though. And you definitely have a lot of different elements going on. I think just like some more tension can really make it clear like the journey you're trying to take the listener on. You know, and really a lot effects can do a lot of that for
you. Wow.
Yeah. Kick 2 is solid. Bunting does not make his kicks in kick 2. This is what big kick 2 doesn't want you to know. Don't buy into big plugin lies. I think tension in the arrangement and just like effects can really help to like really give a direction, and a lot of call and response in the basses, you know, could just make it slap harder, more interesting, and more drum and bass interacting. Yeah. And of course, you got to get those drums like hitting harder, hitting louder, better samples, deeper sidechain. Operator is Bay. Kicks are tuned, and you don't need to tune your kicks. You know, it's really up to you. Like whatever sounds good, sounds good. You know, for me, I do not tune my kicks. I just make my kicks so they sound good, right? And put them on the track. Doesn't matter what the sub is, right? Because if you're sidechaining, none of that really matters. Like if you're in like side trance or a house or something like where the kick and bass are like this, they tight, then maybe you would want to tune your kick. Yeah. But yeah. If you dig this beat, mastered by D's, operator is Zaddy. The longest I've taken a break from music. Not long at all. Maybe like a few months max, honestly. I don't know. Yes, the relationship between them absolutely matter. Well, like in a lot of bass music, I think it's not huge, you know, besides the arrangement, you know, but like in psytrance and for the floor type stuff, it's super important. Yeah. It's way more important than for in the floor stuff than our off-kilter stuff. 2 racks beats. Let's hear it. How to make better sustained bass. Distortion, OTT, wavetables. Peep a Bunting whip. No peep, no pixies. I'm so shy. You guys can only see the final result. This goes crazy, honestly. Kick wavetables, sustain bass. I mean, just wavetables in general. Funk-inspired beat without the original cowbell sample. Good, because I think funk kind of sucks with the original sample, like the 808 cowbell. Where am I kindling my wavetables when I'm making them? I just use like, I don't know. It depends what kind of sustained bass you're trying to make. I don't know, just watch my videos, honestly. I cover all that stuff. I mean, the thing is, like, Kick 2, it basically just streamlines stuff you can do in a normal synth. You know? Sub might be too loud. It's not dancing EDM. I mean, that gets a bit of EDM points. I like that little pre-drop. The calm response to here. I feel like that bass can be a bit more upfront, have a bit more mid-highs. Joe has been sitting so still on my lap, just sitting here so politely. If you guys wanted a little check-in. Yeah, I mean, the beat grooves, it has interesting arrangement, you know? I feel like you should maybe have, like, if you want a rapper on it, you know? You'd probably want to, like, keep the 808 section going on longer. I mean, honestly, who even knows? Because some rap beats go kind of funky with it. But it grooves. Get the mid-highs louder. Get the bass a little quieter. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, it gets the job done. It's a beat. Not a whole lot to go wrong. Yes, I taught Joe so many manners. He's just sitting here so still. He loves to hang out. He's gotten so tame and polite. The bass CDs used to jam too. Yeah. 3 more tracks. He's getting hyped. Should be getting nervous because boy, you aren't ready for the roast I'm about to dish out. Okay, wait. Did I forget the last friend? I know I just forgot 2 racks beats. If you want the beats worth 2 racks, look no further. Dichotomy. Didn't I put dichotomy? Yes, I did. Okay. We're in business. I was about to... Joe was getting nervous. It's okay, Joe. I didn't forget them. But anyway, Philo.
It's said that music is how we communicate with the universe. And
Maybe a bit too much mid and low on this vocal sound.
We are translators, and this is a...
Not sure if I dig that impact a lot, especially if it's got a little sweep beforehand. Good tension here. Nice volume rising up as well. Needs more sub, needs to be louder. This part is way louder than the rest, as you can tell. You want the drop to be the loudest, always. If you can't get it through mixing, literally just mess with the master volume. This bass needs a bit of stereo, a bit of wider, a bit of chorus, either or, both. I feel like a bit of reverb on that lead type thing could slap. I feel like the drum groove could be a bit better with the bass. Can also have a bit of calm response. I think it digs. Yeah, it digs as it is. Calm response can always make it better. It does kind of have some calm response as is. Also, I think your main kind of can be more spectrum, fatter. It grooves.
Translate.
That's a good switch up. Also, it sounds like it could be like an octave lower, both the sub and kind of the bass. Sounds like it's on like F1 instead of F0, you know? This grooves though. though. As for like these individual sections, I think you'd have more variation and definitely fills. You know, you have a bit of fills, but maybe more and with more interest created during them. I mean, like, it's solid. I just think it'd go deeper, like, fuller sound design. Tighter drum grooves. It has me bobbing, though. I think the main thing is, like, that sound design could just be fuller to really... And you can have some, like, automation on it over time. You know, something like that. Flanger can be good for that if you automate the frequency of it. Also, this part's very sparse, maybe a little too sparse. I mean, it's fine for a mix-out section. Also, not sure if I'm a fan of the kick sample. Also, I feel like that clap is kind of weird on every beat when maybe you want to have it like on the 2 and 4, you know, and percussions elsewhere. That's just me though. That's just me though. Maybe it's worth layering that bass if you really like that timbre. You want to keep that. Just layer it. You know, the one time I do advise layering. Just need a fatter like mid bass layer. Yeah. That's the vibe. Oh. Psychotrope's messaging me. But if you dig the groove, which I think a lot of you do, follow him now. Or else. You know, or else. Alright, I'm gonna just cut it off here. Last call for submissions. Missions. Closing them after this tune. I'll still check out the remaining ones though. So after this tune, okay, calling off submissions for tonight. Catch it next week. Have the bangers prepared. I'm tickling Joe. I'm very busy. Don't interrupt me. Joe needs his tickle or else he'll be very upset. Okay, Philo, banger, 18 hand music, Wild West type beat. Some nonsense. You know, nothing that comes from you is nonsense. 1 sub per person. Yeah, you can submit your stuff at the end. I probably will not get to it because I'll probably be tired by then. I'll probably be so sleepy. Just like Joe. I get sleepy. I dig the melodic vibes in here. Not sure I'm a fan of the kick. Snares, I think I maybe like a bit of that drum bus transient shaping on it. Here's the rat. Here's the rat. Ooh. Those atmospheric vibes coming in absolutely clutch though. I feel like the sub might actually be a little too quiet. There, I said it. Damn. Definitely could have used a bit more preparation for that. Bit of bass teaser, a bit of riser, maybe even a full-on build-up. If that fits your taste. Sound design going stupid. Maybe like a bit more like saturation at the end of the chain or OTT. Because I feel like it could be a bit fuller, a bit of widening, and just a bit higher in volume as well. Also felt like you probably should have kept that bass groove type beat going. Would like to hear that for a bit longer with some more variations on it. Felt like it was kind of cut short. You can get creative feedback. It doesn't have to be a full track. It can be a work in progress. It can be a work in progress. Just quick, submit it real quick. Okay, whatever this is, it's kind of fucking. Alright, you submit it. Okay. Last submission. Submissions closed. Submissions closed. Tune in next week. Go ahead, finish it. Hop on with the collab. With one of the homies. Hop on with Joe. Get Joe on the track. Joe squeaking on the track. Gotta get a sample pack of his little squeaks. Because he's so talkative. He loves to squeak. That's one of his favorite things to do. No, he only does it sometimes. Okay. Anyways. Wait, I almost didn't plug the homie. 18 Hands Music. Get the Wild West type beat. That's your homie? From Virginia. I need a high pass on my mic. You're right. Because when I go like this, yeah. Okay, so DJ Pixel Touch, new submitter, Trip Hop brings new light to the previously ambient. All right, I'm all here for this character development as I'm feeling Joe's lovely toes. Let's go. All right, I'm not sure if I like that vibe for that. Not this track. I gotta pay attention. Cool bass line from the start. Bringing in some guitar. Digging the clipped kind of drum. I feel like the mix might be a little overcrowded, especially in the mid-range. Like the guitar is very mid-range, the bass is very mid-range. This sound effect is kind of higher range. Snare could be a bit more up front. Again, clearing up some of the mids from the sounds could help with that. Felt like some more development could happen here besides adding just hats. We can have some type of lead starting to come in, really telling a story, laying it down. That's how we transition out. I feel like not enough lows on the kick, too many like mid-highs. More bells and whistles. Yeah. Maybe more like breaks in the arrangement to keep it interesting. You know, little cool fills. Playing with the tension and release a bit. faster. I like how you change up that progression. That's solid. My biggest quip is it's super mid-heavy, not a whole lot of clarity in the mix. I just get out a little fill, you know, like right there. Again, with the kind of lead, I feel like it's kind of like, I mean, it's a beat, you know, it's trip hop, right? But I could really use something to grab the attention of the listener and tell the story. Some glitch effects, that could be cool. I felt like that kind of cut out abruptly, not quite on the bar. Yeah, some push-pull, jump and release. And really, you could get a lot of that just through like little breaks in your arrangement. And definitely clean up some of the mids. You know, just scoop mids if you have to. Drum fills, that too. I dig the vibe. Just I think more interest can be created. Everyone in the chat is roasting right now. Feasting. But that's DJ Pixel. Support him now. Or else. Honestly, or else. Give him a follow. You're not roasting. Okay. Well, MIDI Chlorian, you need to resubmit. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for being on the lookout. Great pick. I dig that. Okay. There he is. MIDI Chlorian. Let's go. Resubmitter. Coming in right from the start. With the alien insanity. 95 BPM. Expecting some tipper vibrate. I feel like that one wheel is too stereo in comparison to your main bass. I feel like your could have a bit more percussiveness to it, maybe make it more pluck-like with some envelope, some filtering. And just generally some filtering would really do well, especially for the fills, just to provide very clear movement. Groove is there, the riffs are there. Great break in this part. I'm really distracted by how cute Joe is getting. I got the rat on me. Okay, let me run it back. The rat's distracting me. You gotta stop. I think you could use a little break before that drop. Sub might be a bit too loud compared to that, like high end as well. Add a little something to the drums to this. Yeah, I think the drum could be a bit louder, or the kick especially. Also, not sure how much I like that, like reverb snare clap thing. I'm feeling some tight stuff. And especially for your main bass, I think it needs to be a little thicker. You know, you could saturate it, you know, distort it through a tube, through amp, OTT it. It just sounds kind of like washed out in a sense, especially compared to some of the other sounds you have Yeah, and I like your variations on it. Except I feel like it could have used a bit more, like a very short break and a little teaser. Bring it back in. Also, some more variation on the sound design. And I really think like some more like pluckiness and kind of like percussiveness on that one like wow bass could really make it take to the next level in terms of groove. Yeah, drum pattern. It's alright. I think it could be a little better. I felt like this kind of drop here went on for a bit too long. Again, like another little break or just some type of indicator to like add some tension before switching it up. Can't really do a lot to like save it from becoming, you know, boring to possibly. Also, maybe instead of like the maybe some more kind of stepwise movement could be a little foolish, in my opinion. Yeah. Anyway, that's midi chlorian. Dig the tippery vibes. I think that percussiveness is the real move. It's all about that filtering and just like you know. Okay. Alright guys, everyone leave, because MUA is about to show us all up with Funky Jam IDK. Heavy low bass. Well, good for you, because I have a tipper type tutorial. That sound is basically just phaser, period. Saw wave plus phaser. Pitch bending around a bit with cutoff automation. Coming in with the comment kind of breaky vibe with the beautiful melodic intro. Ooh. Going foolish. Joe's loving it. This is a vibe. You always keep it interesting, right when it has the potential to get old. Potential, not that it ever would. You bring in a little lead. And I really like how you switch it up and added variations there, and subtle little fills and breaks in the arrangement to keep it interesting. Definite vibe, uppercase V vibe. Funky Jam. See, like, you just need little fills like that. Then he switches it up, keeps it a little same, a little bit different, but he changes up more than just adding an element, which is very excellent. But what if I told you there is a collab in the works that I have to hop on? So good, have to play it again while playing with Joe, of course. What better vibe is there but MUA and Joe? But yeah, you already know this guy cooks bangers nonstop. Follow him. Some funky upright bass VST. Give the man a follow, or else. Anyway, Second Nature. also known as Supernatural.
This
Jeez.
place is the most, it's like heaven. And you come back and everything's still moving around and like still seeing patterns and you're like, what the
Alright, the
fuck? So when I
DMT
got out of it,
breakthrough.
I was like, whoa, I need to tell someone about this. So I run in and tell my girlfriend what the fuck happened and I was like telling my friends about it. So we tried again and then the second time I broke through.
A year ago,
was
16.
The time I met.
Appreciate
my
laying down the
first
little
lady.
atmosphere
Like I actually saw it.
for the
And
DMT trip
that was
report.
pretty surreal. Same thing, you know, ripped it through the bubbler, took as many tokes as I could.
Educational use only.
Climbing,
Don't
broke
demonetize
through,
me,
climbing,
YouTube.
There's like these like triangle
I don't
lines
recommend drugs.
everywhere along the walls, and like they were just like flashing colors and wonderful likeness, and this had like this weird being. I can't even describe what it looked like. Definite, just this weird looking thing, and it had a head. It was like elongated, and it had a giant eye. It was long with like two eyes, and you could see its mouth, and it blended in with the background of this realm. Like it just like appeared of energy and started like speaking to me in a language.
I like the
that
very
wasn't
subtle
English, but it was
percussion
language I could
working its way in.
understand. It wasn't speaking like I
Intro is
understood
long,
it,
but I think it's cool. Also, it's a little quiet. You always keep your stuff on the quieter end, but this especially, like, you can see the huge decibel difference. Don't think it needs to be that big. This is nuts. Second Nature, come to Brazil. This is a vibe. Yeah. This is solid. Super unique. The spaced out echoed basses. At this point, I would expect a bit more variation. Love the sound design. Very squelchy. Yeah, this is a whole vibe.
Walking propelled into another realm, another dimension. Not far the fuck away
Some more
from
drums.
this place, but just this
Percussion.
complete place of unimaginable beauty, unimaginable power. In this place, time and space does not exist.
Turn the fuck up. I feel like this could really benefit from some kind of like the sound starts off mono then goes stereo with some like reverb or just like wider automation. I think that could be like ridiculously sick. I know Tipper does that in a bunch of his tracks. Also, some of these elements are a lot more in the background than others, which I think you did tastefully, so you're good. I'd be looking down too much. I realize it looks weird for the viewer to see me looking down at the rat. I gotta have the rat up here so I can look at him. Yeah, more percussion to really like lay down a groove. You can make it hella trippy percussion though. That is allowed to happen. His huge nuts. Huge rat nuts. Massive. Just like this track. I really dig the snare. You're right, I should get another rat. I should get so many rats. Look, one's named Joe, one's named Jose. And then we get a girl rat, Josephine. And yeah. People love this track. It got huge. I'm your fan, Second Nature. Keep it up, superstar. Cold beat. Also, maybe some like different notes on the sub bass, volume automation, and like pitch bending could make it more interesting. But yeah, super cool tune with a super cool premise. Joe 2, Joe 3, you're right. MRNS, massive rat nuts. Bartholomew, no, it all has to be variations on Joe. That's just how it has to be. Joe2.wav. Joe V2 whip. Alright, follow supernatural bass. The man releases the vibes. He dishes them out like they're free, like they grow on trees. Joe VIP. Bro, that's hilarious. I think I like, I don't even know. These are all banger names. I think I'm gonna unironically, zero irony, 100% serious, name the next rat like Joe V2, work in progress, or Joe 2.wav, or Joe VIP. I don't know. Maybe I just name them all different variations. Sculpt horror show drop. All right, first thing. This is a very experimental outro, as I can tell. Right, I respect some experimentation. Also, new submitter, I think. Very quiet in the beginning, but really teasing the sub. You don't need it so quiet in the beginning, because like, you just don't. You know, especially if you're trying to mix it in, you just won't hear it at all.
Listen, yo.
Joe 2 to 5.
Hold up, ready. Sky couple shots out the semi. Flex like machine gun Kelly. Military headgear, liver gloves ready. Got you with the big dog funner.
Cool process on the vocal.
Nobody make no loose.
Sub could be louder.
Everything done by Sunner. The circle that ends anytime.
Kick could be louder.
Rise up from under the dirt.
Snare is nice. I dig the little folder with the snare too.
Yeah, power show style. One up on a pagan, never show smile. Them pussy never know it was a Batman thing. Till they wanna put a nozzle on the big 4-5. Yo, big 4-5. Run up with a nozzle of the big 4-5. Try now you're surrounded by demons. I bet you any money somebody in the sky. We circle the ends anytime. Me and make up in a broad day. Rise up from under the dirt like Satan. I run up on a pagan horror show style.
Goes. Fat. I need it louder. I feel like you can have one more kind of bass, like during all that silence. Something like that. Something. Yeah, this goes absolutely. Cool little snare rolls. Everybody's super dark and atmospheric. Maybe some pitch gliding for the 808. You know, just glide, legato, mono. And that's it, really. You can maybe add some more kind of pitch bending. You know, this vibey stuff. He's crawling. He's crawling in. Alright, so we got like 1.5 more minutes to give feedback on. Alright, this part. Okay. A little bit empty. No, I'm fucking. Yeah, snare is a little loud relative to the rest of the track. Just bring the rest of the track up. It was definitely a lot quieter than other stuff in here, but it's work in progress, so I'm not expecting it to be phenomenal. Did I felt like I already reviewed that. I reviewed someone. No, I didn't. I'm tripping. I am tripping my slime. Okay. Almost 3 hours here, but you guys are sticking through. Follow Sculpt. I hope I remembered everyone. This part is your pride and joy. Follow him for these deep vibes. These deep and fresh vibes. Joe likes it too. It's one of his favorites. He's a kind of like John Cage kind of guy. You get it because he like lives in a cage and stuff. Alright, this goes. You could have some type of little effect riser into here and a little fill. Some type of pre-drop type thing. Think of it like that, even though it's not necessarily like straight build up, drop. You gotta get a track here. You must. Someday. Next week. That's your due date. Or else. Or else no feedback stream unless Electric Beal 717 submits his track. Oh. Quite minimal. Very much a beat, but it goes. I love that little flute you brought in. That cymbal's a little corny. Kick could be a bit louder. This is super simple, but kind of goes in. It's a beat. If you were to make it saucier, you can add little pitch bends in the 808s. And kind of fills, you know, little breaks, you know, with some different saucy content occurring. Super nice melody with that flute. Super nice. Kick does need some punch. You can transient shape it, compress it, similar in concept, or just use a different sample, make it louder, sidechain it. Maybe not sidechain it with this kind of 808 type thing going on, but no, you know the vibe. Joe likes it. He told me I speak rap. He said squeak, squeak, squeak. I feel like you can really like add some fills in there. Honestly, fills can do so much for making your track sound polished and high fidelity and professional. Like it's just like a beat, like alright, it's a beat. You got little fills in the beat, like alright, festival banger, bro. You're insane. Absolute genius. You know what I mean? Snare is definitely loud compared to the rest of the stuff. Just bring up all those levels, especially like those melodic elements. You have a lot of room to work with. And I think you could play with the arrangement more, you know, just play with it, have fun with it, be creative, be saucy. You know, it's all about that tension and release. Alright, so Oracle's asking for the full-on roast. So, wait, first of all, Sagittarius A, also known as Metrics Music. Yeah, give him a follow. Oracle. Let me run it back. Everything sounds super loud, almost too loud. I like the logo. Yeah, this lead just sounds way too loud compared to the rest of your stuff and a little too dry for the reverbiness. Also, maybe like filtering some elements in, you know, with the low pass could add to that like tension and kind of build up of your arrangement. Yeah, could use a sub in the beginning, or your like kind of bass things. Your bass things can have a bit of reverb too as you trade. Yeah. Yeah, another thing, yeah, the intro might be a bit too long. You can drop a beat. And I still feel like it's building up. Like it's almost a minute in, I feel like it hasn't gotten to the drop, you know. And even though the arrangement is building up, it's still like texturally the same. You know, I'm just feeling like a sense of tension waiting. Drums sound pretty nice to me. Not a whole lot of sub I'm detecting. More sub. Also, call and response. You just have like one bass. Whoa, 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 whoa. While if you have like wham, whoa, 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 whoa. More call and response type. Digging the pitch bending and the flows. Also, I think the drums could be more breaksy. And at this part, like you can have more variation, like within the timbre. You could just switch up the timbre of the sound, you know. Because at this point, it's kind of like the sound is played through. You gotta refresh. You gotta switch them out. You gotta reload. And some more kind of fills. Also, the drop might just be too long in general. You know, it could be like 16 instead of 32 bars or whatever. Or like 32 instead of 64 or whatever, you know the deal. Like half as long. So I feel like this section isn't adding a whole lot. There's a bit of variation, but I'd like to see something a bit more dramatic with a bit more, you know, finesse in the arrangement into it. Transition out is nice. I would maybe like a bit heavier impact. Again, lead is too loud. And a bit too mid-heavy. You know, scoop that lows and mids a bit. Also, I feel like you can switch up the drums a bit to add more tension during the build-up. And a bit more preparation, especially if you're gonna have like a fake-out drop that heavy. Felt like it's not really justified by the arrangement beforehand. Not enough sub. Kick needs to hit harder. Or if it's a break, layer the kick. I just feel like it's like it wants to go harder, but it's not. See, like now you're bringing like a bit heavier kick, but still. Again with the call and response and switching up the timbre, I think you could really benefit from that. Just slightly change the sound design, and you're solid. And you can do that for the call. Fills as well. It's like switching up the flows isn't quite enough, you know, a lot of the time. And I feel like your flows could be a bit stronger as well and more just like in the pocket, consistent, groovy. And with a strong call and response, you know, because that's all I care about. That's all I talk about ever. You know me. Talk about sine waves. Talk about call and response. More sub. More sub. Always more sub. Unless there's too much sub, then less sub. But give him a follow. His first track in Ableton, and he killed it. He slew it. And that's that. Up next is Kava. And I'll be right back for like 2 seconds. Okay. We're back in business. Finishing up the feedback stream. Kava, SpaceX EP. Let's go. I like how it's building up. Sound design. The sound might just be like my weird ass mic.
Listen.
Nuts. Follow. Great tension, great intro. Drop goes stupid. Heavy on the sub. Great drum sub. Kick sub relationship. This part you kind of lost me a little. You started off really strong, but I think the variation isn't as good flow wise. But you can definitely, you could just reuse the same flow as the beginning and switch up the sound design a bit. There's plenty of tracks too. Solid break with another solid build up. Sounds very professional. That like reverse sub to it goes quite foolish. You can add kind of like fills in here besides the silence, I think. If you're feeling quite daring, you can do that. And you can also hang out with the little rat. That could be good for your music, I think. That's very deep. I think your mids and highs could be a bit louder, especially on your bass sounds. again, even with the second drop, I feel like the second half didn't keep up the energy as much. I just feel like it doesn't hit as hard. Like the easiest fix is, I would say, yeah, just reuse like the first flow, but just change the sound design more, or just like add something to really change the energy of it. You know, switch it up. Yeah, maybe like speed it up. I don't know. It's hard to say exactly because something like that is super open-ended. Vocal rap feels. I agree. Get some gangster rap acapellas. Make them go crazy. But yeah, that's Kappa Project. If you're into it. Yeah, that's definitely a banger. Could see that being played out. World of Burgers. Boogers? Burgers? Whatever. Whatever. Alright, Kava with the banger. U-Bit, another new subbitter. He just had to shout out his Instagram. Alright, just for that. Next. No, I'm kidding. I'm such a silly guy. Okay, one thing. This shit looks like a brick. Be careful with the mastering. Is this really just straight up? Okay, well, I respect that.
Hope your daughter doesn't say she's a demon. She says she's the devil himself.
Just don't limit it so hard. We'll clip it, probably limiting.
There's nothing wrong with my
Cinematic vibes. Great examples chosen for this part.
There is another world.
I'd like to hear the vocals a bit more clearly, especially in the build-up part. I feel like the cadence of it is kind of weird, and it makes you feel like it's supposed to. This is like a teaser, you know, rather than the actual drop.
She says she's the devil himself.
I feel like the cadence of it's kind of weird, especially when it goes right into the drop. It feels like I'm like expecting it to be a teaser, you know? Expecting it to be a teaser. Highs are definitely sharp. Gotta run it back.
There is another world.
And I would maybe like a bit more like mid-range beef and sound design. Yeah, I definitely want to like sweep through with an EQ, cut out some of those references. Yeah. Clap definitely needs to be louder. Yeah, especially that one part, jeez. That would like fuck people's up. Fuck people's ears up, like, in a bad way. I feel like you can layer it, like bounce it to audio and like transpose it and layer that with it. Yeah, snares with your bite or clap or whatever. Also, I feel like the drop's been going. I feel like the drop's been going on for quite a bit now, right? When it really needs like some type of break or some huge variation to make up for it. I would honestly just put it into a build. And also, it seems like the intro and breaks are quite loud, especially compared to the drop. And the drop certainly should be the loudest part of the track. You know, just be careful with the volumes and how you brick wall it into limiters.
In all of life there is a rhythm. All things living carry out this tune.
I think more tension could have been built up in that break there. More drums, more rises. I like this drop better. Again, with the very harsh high end, you really gotta like get soothed or cut those high end frequencies. And more variations in it, I would say, like definitely at this part or a little before it, get some more interest. And also maybe some more variation in your sound design on a smaller scale, but like dan 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 instead of dan 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 just forever and ever. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it cuts out kind of... Alright, we gotta play this banger, though. It cuts out kind of quickly at the end. Homie is selling hearing aids. It's a side hustle. This slaps, though. Great development. You know, you start a motif, and then you build on it. You know, more elements bring in that bass. Okay, little B section, little development. Everything sounds super clear in the mix, a lot of clarity. I don't know. Basically, use a little OTT. Really love those harmonies, but you like keep a rhythmic motif even though you're changing things up. Having a little fun with it at this part. Then you bring it right back into something familiar as you kind of like... Who is this? Spirit Music. Keep that up. Oh. Oh, a little switch. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with that. I was enjoying that. That's a banger. But all's broke. Alright. If you want the world of boogers, here it is. Support the homie. All the homies. Support all the homies. What plugin is this? It has to be using Contact or something. Snare is super quiet. And the reverb's kind of dark. Doesn't matter, I'll still roast it equally. Also drums. I don't feel like the drums have a whole lot of groove. I see what's happening there. I don't know. And I don't know how much of this is sampled versus just remade. I think some filtering in the chords could make them more interesting, less corny. Okay, this part slaps though. I feel like you should have maybe had something other than the saw chords for the beginning chords. That could have made it have more contrast, and I just don't think saw chords sound very good on their own unless they're in a fat stack. feel like some cute little fills, like Kawaii Future Bass, quote unquote, or whatever. Like, they have cute little fills with little sound effects. You can put like little sound effects from the Pokemon game in there. Like, you know, like something. Thank you for the blessing. I think some little cute fills would do a lot for you. Also, keep in mind, these little dan are very much in the same frequency range. But because saws are so full spectrum, not a whole lot you could do. They are able to be heard. Some low pass filtering. I think low pass filtering always fucks on saws. You could have a bit of like pitch bending, and I don't know if I'm feeling like the detuned lead. I think like something less detuned, more like consistent, vibey, could be cool. But maybe like pitch bends a bit of vibrato in it. I like this lead though. I don't like that lead as much. Also, be more mindful with the drums. I don't think the little kind of feel is super tasteful. And I think you can play a lot more with silence and fills. That would really make it sound super polished and swaggy. You better be sorry about the loud click. Where's the loud click? I don't think I heard it. Outro. You can just have it kind of like fade out from here. And also, these crash samples, a little corny. I don't like a whole lot of crashes. You know, it can have some different type of impact beside a crash. Yeah. Also, I'm not a huge fan of like volume automation, especially on individual elements. A lot of times I think filters do a similar thing, but more subtly and nicely. So that's a bit more noticeable. Okay. But yeah, that's my stuff from that. Snare too. Not a huge fan of the snare for this kind of future bassy style. But yeah, if you fuck with the Pokemon future bass type beat, Allsbrook is your dude. That's your dude right there. He's your homie. He's your home slice. But let's go with Triumvirate, also known as side boats. So distracted by Joe. The pick gets you every time. It's a vibe. I especially like the gentleman here, taking full advantage of this opportunity. I'm not a huge fan of the reverb on the snare and hats. Cool build. I think the could be a bit more. I feel like the drums are a bit excessive, and the riser could be a bit more upfront, maybe a better riser. This lead in the background could definitely have more mid-highs, you know, maybe sounds a bit over EQ'd, and be definitely more prominent in the mix. I like the pad you have going with it too. Also, it drops out kind of abruptly as well. You can either have some type of arrangement, you know, like a little break to make it clear. Gotta change. Or just keep it and have the layer on top. Feel like it trying to transition to another build kind of weirdly. You know, I felt like that drop wasn't finished with. I'll probably have like a break on its own, you know, instead of working that into the part already, you know. Yeah, all those mid highs really need to go up. They could use so much more clarity just being boosted. Yeah, too much build too early. I agree. The vibe is fat though. Loves the beat. He likes to hang out as well. I feel like you can have more kind of like lead stuff, you know, to really make the journey. And maybe some like more kind of chord changes and progressions, or maybe some type of B section even. Yeah, that's a vibe. Definitely down tempo. Could definitely use a lot more development, like both in a figurative sense and literally in the sense of like in the arrangement, you know, development. Okay, last guy, Dami Tsunami. Gonna sleep good after this 3-hour stream. Joe's taking me through it. He's so happy he gets to hang out for a whole 3 hours. You know, I hang out with him so much all the time. He's my little buddy. Ooh. Cute little snare. I think that's from my pack. Cool respace. I like the intro. Oh no, the boy Pudgy. Also, the key on this flute sounds really weird. Something more like that. Just trying to find my headphones. Hold up. I feel like like this could be cut out and this part could be like right here. Yeah, also some width. Yes. Submit next week, my slimes. I'm glad to see you here, but I'm also glad I get to chill after this. I like the drum groove, I like the bass sound design, super full. Great call and response. Bam, bam, bam. That's all. Response, response. Tight flow. I think the variations on it are nice too. I will say. Yeah. I think the intro is what mostly needs the polish. Like the intro vibe is solid. I think like there could be like one more element going on, you know, to create some contrast to this stuff. And also like maybe progress a bit faster. Yeah, snare is hitting a little hot. I was gonna say that. Not sure how else to put it in though. Also in this part, Maybe have a bit of filtering in your build-up as well, and just filtering overall. That could bang, I think, personally. It's a bit quieter, I think you'll find, and a bit of filtering as well. And I think maybe have that bass come a bit louder, like to really dynamically move into the drop. I feel like it doesn't quite reach its full potential in the build. But yeah, that's Dami Tsunami. Hope I didn't forget anyone in terms of the shout outs. But yeah, give the homies a follow. Homies support homies. That's how we all win. Say goodbye to Joe. Thank you all for tuning into the stream. Me and Joe appreciate your company and appreciate your bangers. And we like to help you actualize them to their fullest potential. Right? I will check out your tunes next week if you missed it. I try to go on around 9 p.m. EST every Friday. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Got to give myself a quick shout out, right? Of course, if you want anything, no, if you want banging samples, right, so your tracks don't get roasted, just go to shop. There's a bunch of free packs and paid packs as well. Ton of premium samples, literally just about the only samples I use most of the time because I make stuff I like. You know, plenty of cool racks too if you want to mess with some racks. Piano samples, right? Also, if you want one-on-one lessons from me to really actualize your tracks to their fullest potential, right? Those are available on here. Yeah, you know the deal. And another thing is, what is it? If you support me on Patreon, you get all my video presets, all my video project files, and more, right? And more. You get a ton of shit. And yeah, that's just great for all of us. And you support me, the boy, right? But yeah, I'm done selling out, right? Appreciate your support, even if you don't buy anything, because yeah, you're making my career, folks, and I love doing what I do because we all win in the end. Hell yeah. Peace out, fellas. Pudgy, Austin, Prug thinks my samples are tight. And I've saved him hell of time working on tracks. You heard him. You heard him. Get him now. No, but you know the deal. Appreciate any support you guys give me. Because, yeah, you're making it all possible. But peace out, guys. Love you. Good night. Streaks. Bye.